Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Sister Renee and I'm so excited that you are here. Today we are doing a painting and it is sped up. So if you are following along, just know that it took me longer than this video to make. And so what you're going to need is a canvas. I love these flat canvases. I put my paint in one of those little palettes. You're going to need some paint brushes and paints, of course. And don't feel like you need the most expensive paint. I think these are like $1 at Walmart or Marshall's or whatever. So don't feel like you need so many. So first what we're going to do is start with the background and we're just going to paint the whole thing. And so what is happening? So like one of my favorite seasons is the fall, and it's like harvest season. It's, the leaves begin to change colors. The temperature gets cooler, and of course it's sweater weather. And are you a pumpkin spice latte fan? I haven't had one in quite a long time. I'm a chai tea latte fan, and I know it's chai latte. But yeah, but like I just love, creating and just, painting, doing all of those things. But thinking about like the seasonal changes, right? God is such a beautiful God. He created the idea of seasons, right? And just the whole process. It's so amazing, right? And so like the harvest season with pumpkins, sunflowers, and, golden leaves shows us that God's timing is perfect. Even as the days get shorter and the air turns crisp, he's still at work, bringing forth abundance and color. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, it reminds us, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And pumpkins are often seen as symbols of harvest, but today I'm painting mine with flowers. Why? Because even in the season of gathering in, God is still planting seeds of beauty and new beginnings. Flowers remind us that, what God plants, he makes bloom. Think of sunflowers. Think of, flowers, plants, all of them. They always turn his face toward the sun. What if we lived that way, turning our hearts daily towards the sun, Jesus Christ? Just as flowers follow the light, we're called to follow the light of the world, So fall harvest flowers are also, they remind me of gratitude. Every petal, every stem, every detail, it shows the Lord's care for creation. And how much more does he care for us? Matthew 6:28 verse 30 says, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If God clothes the flowers so beautifully, he will surely take care of you and me. So maybe the season feels like a harvest for you. You're reaping the good fruit of hard work, answered prayers, or spiritual growth. Or maybe it feels like the fields are bare. But here's the truth. Even in dry seasons, God is preparing the soil, even in waiting. He's planting seeds that will bloom in their time. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at a proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So as I paint these flowers on this pumpkin, I want you to see it as a picture, the harvest and the bloom working together. God doesn't just give us food for the body, he gives us beauty for the soul. Fall teaches us that letting go can be so beautiful. Trees release their leaves, yet we marvel at the colors. Sometimes God asks us to let go of things too, not because he wants to leave us empty, but because he has a new season waiting. Just like this pumpkin carries these flowers, our lives can carry unexpected beauty when we let God be the artist. He takes the ordinary and makes it extraordinary. He takes the plain and fills it with the life. So as you watch these blooms come alive on this pumpkin, let it remind you that God is still writing your story. The seeds you have sown in faith are not forgotten. And just like the harvest, your time to bloom is coming. Colossians 2, verse 7 says, "Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong, and you will overflow with thankfulness." Overflow, that's the word I leave with you. May this harvest season be one where you overflow with joy, with gratitude, and with the beauty of Christ shining in you. Because just like a flower-filled pumpkin, your life is a canvas. And when God paints on it, the results are always a masterpiece. So one thing about me is that I love journaling prompts, okay? So here are 5 journal prompts. So make sure you pause it to write this down. Go grab your journal, your pencil, so that you can have time for reflection as well, okay? So question number 1. What season of life do you feel like you are in right now? Is it planting, waiting, or harvesting, and why? Question number 2, how have you seen God's faithfulness in past harvest seasons of your life? Number 3, what is something you need to let go of, just like the autumn leaves, so God can bring new growth? Number 4, where do you see beauty in unexpected places, like flowers on a pumpkin, in your own life? And 5, how can you turn toward the sun like a sunflower or flowers this week in your daily routines and choices? So take some time this week to step outside and notice the colors of fall and thank God for one bloom. He's growing in your life right now. So write it down, pray over it, and then share a word of encouragement or blessing with someone else, because harvest joy multiplies when we give it away. One of my favorite memories was last October when I got to go into the Smoky Mountains for a few nights, and it was when the seasons changed or the leaves changed color, and it was just the most spectacular thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And we were high up in the mountains. It was just nothing but trees all over. And the leaves just changed. Like, it was just so beautiful, from green to red to orange, some purples. It was just so beautiful. And then to see the night sky with all the stars, you guys, you have to make it out there one day. And if you have, let me know. Wasn't it just amazing? It was so beautiful, And so the harvest reminds me, like, sometimes I struggle with letting go. Like, I don't know if you've been around long enough, but I've told my testimony about, holding on to this car for dear life, but it was just falling apart, and I didn't want to let it go. And I didn't want to let go of a job that I had. I was like, no, I do not want to. But God was like, you either have to let it go or I'm going to make you. And I think he forced me to let it go because my car died on me and I had to go find a job. I was like, okay, in order for me to pay for this car, I'm going to have a better job, to pay for it, And so that was something that was really interesting, an experience of mine. But, it was beautiful. Once I finally let go, God was like, I have better for you. You just have to make room, And so that's with everything, right? We can get so stuck. We are like, I don't want to let go of this relationship, this job. I don't want to change lifestyle habits. Like, I want to stay the same. But God is like, no, I have so much more for you, so much better. And, I just thank God for that. Like, he just wants to bless us. And that's so amazing. And so also when I think about the fall, I think about, Thanksgiving and gratitude. I feel like we are entering into the season where people are just the nicest people in the world, that holiday Christmas season, So, but the thing is, we can practice gratitude all day, every day, 365, 24/7, right? And so harvest time is like, it seems like it's all about gathering, right? And one of the greatest things that we can gather is gratitude. I don't know about you. Do you have a gratitude jar? Do you write down in your journal what you're grateful for? There was a season where I was writing one line a day for the things that I was grateful for. And I have to get back into that. I have a prayer journal in the morning, and I write my gratitude in there too. And then I say it throughout the day. But I was thinking, going back to putting it in my journal daily, like at the end of the day, what are my top 3 things that I was grateful for that day, right? And so, what are you thankful for in this season? When we take time to thank God, it shifts our hearts from scarcity to abundance. So let me think. Some of my gratitude for today is being able to come home after work, rest, have a snack, and then just enjoy my time to rejuvenate so that I can come and record a video. Before I was, working multiple jobs and I was exhausted, wasn't able to do much of anything. And so, I'm grateful that I have that. I'm also grateful that, I have my health. People are getting sick at the school, kids are throwing up. I'm like, oh no. So I'm grateful that I'm still healthy right now. All right, before I let you go, I would love for you to pray with me. And so I'm going to say a little prayer for you. May this season be one where you see God's faithfulness in new ways. May your life bloom with joy, hope, and peace, just like these flowers. And may you remember that no matter the season, the Lord of the harvest is with you. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you soon.